Today is June 18th, 2020. This is the Kubernetes SIG storage meeting. This meeting will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. First, we'll do 1.19 planning. So the first item is CSI online, offline, resizing, fix issues. Is Herman online? No? Okay. So I think Herman, so we had several meetings talking about those issues. And Herman is working on fixes for them. So the next one is recovering from resize failures. Again, Herman, see there? No. There is a cap that is merged, and he is working on a PR right now. I think that's
his PR is out. I'm helping review that one.
Okay. Right. So I think that's in progress and on schedule. So should be fine. I think he said he's going to post a PR for the doc, which is required for this Friday, I think. Oh, actually, I think I need to add this. Sorry, I forgot. Let me add this. To add a new column here. Next one, support containerized CSI node plugins in Windows. Do you have Deep or Xing here? Michelle, you know the status? No? Okay. Anyone know anything about this? Well, otherwise I'll say no update. Snapshot. Okay, so we are still working on bug fixing, and so that those are in progress. Next one is non-recursive volume ownership. Herman, Jan, or Xing? Okay.
Not sure if Herman.
Does anyone know anything about this, or just
I know. Okay, Herman is not here. So the status is that we are waiting for the next item for the SE Linux API review, because maybe it's going to be merged together.
Also expect to merge it soon?
Well, like the FS group thing, the recursive ownership, it is merged. It is alpha in 1.18 and in 1.19 we are waiting for SE Linux if it's going to be merged with FS group change or not.
Okay. Your volume is a little low. Let me. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. This is the maximum I can do.
Okay. Yeah. So this one should not be this. So this one should be started, right?
Well, it's blocked. It's blocked by the SE Linux.
Oh, sorry. I guess that part was not, didn't hear it. Okay. All blocked by SE Linux. Okay. All right.
And the SE Linux I have API review. I have API PR. I don't have API review.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking Clayton. Wait. I'm
Okay.
talking about the Linux already.
Okay.
The next slide.
You PR ready, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have implementation for a couple of volume plugins just to prove that the API makes sense and how the implementation will look like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Next one is Security Linux Recursive Permission.
That's what I told you. That's the API review.
Okay. Then this one, file permission handling for Windows. Is this still not started? Okay.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. It's not started. Next one. Okay, this one says done. File permission handling projected service account. Okay, so I think this one is already merged. So done. We don't need anything. CSI Entry read-only handling. Is anyone working on this? Humble, Sat, do you know anything about this update?
Sorry, what was the item?
This is the CSI Entry read-only handling. Do we have any update on
No,
this?
I haven't seen any updates here.
Okay. Next one is issues related to assuming volumes are mount points. Andy, Jane. Anyone have any update on this? Jane, Andy?
So I kind of need to understand what exactly this issue is. There is a PR I'm working on to relate to the CSI mount point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I should be able to finish. It's already finished, but I just need to address the comments. But I don't think it's exactly the same thing. But
Okay.
I can.
Okay. So you will take a look.
I need to understand. Yeah. What?
I'll just put on your will take a look. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Thanks. Next one is the storage capacity tracking. Okay, so this is the one that is fetched here. Okay, is Michelle here? Michelle's not here in the meeting. I think
Patrick has a cap open.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he has API.
I think the PR is there. I actually reviewed this once.
No.
So PR is out.
Okay.
For review, I think Michelle says she scheduled a review meeting. I believe that's what she said. API review meeting. That's what I know. That's what she said. Next one is PVC inline Ephrem volume. So this one is the one that Yang, you are helping reviewing, right? Is this the one?
Yes, there is API review in progress and Clayton is looking at it. However, Clayton is very busy, so he's hard to catch.
Okay.
And this one may be very complicated to pass through API review because they want something more generic that would include all the ephemeral volumes, not just CSI.
Okay.
but also empty-dir and secrets and inline CSI volumes. And
Oh, they want everything to be combined, the existing one and this new one.
it would be great if it that way.
Right, right.
But even for the alpha, or can we put that off until beta? Oh, even for alpha. Wow. Okay.
Clayton doesn't want to look something that's throwaway API.
Okay. It's a good point. It's just a ton of work.
They don't like the we want to do this in steps. They want it to be done in one step, right?
Like the current API that Patrick has is pretty extensible. Like it has generic ephemeral volume and you can stick anything there. So if we convince Clayton or Jordan or Tim that it moves the right direction, then it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Hopefully he will be persuaded. Oh, okay. So this one spreading this. So I actually have not really. So I thought about this, but I don't have anything concrete yet. So it's like I would say in progress. Voting group API. So this one we just had a review design review meeting for this meeting. So we will have another meeting to follow up. Next one is the CSI auto tree move NFS driver. So this is what finished. Done. Oh, this one is done. Okay, so I think it's done. Then the next one is the CSI auto tree move Scuzzy driver. Started.
I need to I need to follow up with the folks who were reaching out to me about helping work on this driver.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think basically the code has been updated, but we need to do the fit and finish of actually like building and releasing images for it.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Michelle. Next one is the CSI Fibre channel driver. Also deprecate, and then the flex adapter. Those both are going to be deprecated.
Yes, it's on me to just sort of archive the repos and mark all the readmes and stuff as deprecated.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Next one is move out the GSM Provisioner. Is Humble there? Or Jan, do you know the status of this? This is the GSM Provisioner.
No.
Don't know. Okay. No.
I think this is Kiran here. I think the initial PR got merged.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Okay, thanks. But there's more work to do. It's not complete yet, right? So there are more.
Right, it's not complete. I think there's automation for images being set up.
Okay, so I think the next two is you, Karen,
right.
NFS, yeah, those two.
Yeah. So for the NFS Provisioner, we have the initial PR ready. I think there's one hiccup with the CLA commit. I'm working with the infra group to get that sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Hopefully we'll get that merged.
Okay. And then the second one is the same or different? Client same. Okay.
It's a different one. So I've raised a draft PR right now. Still working on it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Next one is the deprecation of Kubernetes Incubator external storage. Is Matt here? Michelle, do you know the status of this one? or are we waiting for other repos to be moved out first before deprecating?
Yeah, I think we're waiting for the NFS ones to finish movement, and then we can also clean up all the issues in the old repo, move them over to the new repo and such. I do see there are still lots of issues and PRs being opened against this repo. I don't know if Kieran, you can have a chance to like go in and sort of start cleaning them up. I guess it'd be hard because like until we have the new code available and merged, it will be hard for people to like to tell people to say, here, make the PRs in this new repo.
Yeah.
Sounds good, Michelle. I'll keep a watch on them.
Okay, thanks. Next one, Warum Snapshot namespace transfer. Do we have Mike here? Sad, do you know any update about this one?
I have not seen anything new here, no.
Okay, thank you. Update. Okay, next thing is Wateringhouse. So we do have a mock driver PR that is in review. And then the Wateringhouse, the controller agent PR also in review. Next one. Okay, so this one we moved out. Ben's generic data populator. Object storage API. Jeff or John?
They're holding regular meetings, including stand-up. I think the latest status is they were going to start working on like a 0.1 version of the spec. So on track.
Thanks, Sad. Okay, so this one probably we don't have any update. This one is the CSI Ephrem volume beta fix bugs. This is also on Patrick. Yang, do you know if is this one? Is there anything going on with this, or we're just waiting for the new one to be done first?
I don't know.
Okay, there's no update. Next one is FS group support in CSI. Do we have a question?
Yeah, there's an open PR for this. There are compatibility test failures that I'm still addressing.
Okay. Thanks, Christian. vSphere CSI Migration. Divian, are you there?
Yes. Yeah. So we have merged the PR for the Kubernetes side changes. Currently, it is merged with the FeatureGate Alpha. After the testing is complete, along with the CSI driver, we'll move it to or bump it up to the beta. Right now, we have one concern from the community regarding the way we are asking our customer to upgrade vSphere to 7.0 U1. So we have reached out to the PMs in the VMware, and we cannot backport the APIs that we have added in the 7.0 U1 to the 6.5 and the 7.0. So customer need to upgrade to 7.0 U1. So for that, we will publish the message for all of our customer. That is the overall status.
Okay. So Sa, do you? We should probably take a look of the message that we want to send out. So should we put that on the Slack channel and talk about that later, or how do you want to?
Yeah, we can do it offline.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we should also probably loop in folks from SIG cloud provider too, because I think this has like broader implications than just storage.
Yeah, we already talked to Andrew. He is in the cloud provider side. So yeah, we will. we can talk to him about this. So he's aware of this issue at least. Okay, yeah, let's talk about this more offline. Next one is Azure CSI Migration. Do you have Andy here? Michelle, do you know any status for this? Azure.
He's been sending out PRs, but I haven't been syncing up on the latest status. But I think he is actively working on this. I can try to follow up with him.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, so this one is crossed out. And then we have AWS CSI Migration. Not started. Do you have there anyone working on this? Saad, have you heard anything from Matt about the AWS?
I have not been keeping an eye on this, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just need someone to tell me what's going on because I've not been paying attention.
What is it Matt?
Who's Matt, yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't know this AWS CSI Migration? I think it's you want to bring this to beta Michelle, is this one saying that we want
it's already beta?
Okay.
I think the ask here is to see you know, continue working on fixing bugs and stuff so that we can get to GA in the next couple of releases.
Okay.
I guess, Matt, will you be able to sort of follow up and see if you someone on your team or you can own the AWS migration feature?
Yeah, I'm supposed to own it. I just have not caught up on what the status is. I don't know if there's a meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, just
feel free to sync up. You can sync up with me offline, and I can sort of like get you updated on the current status of stuff. But basically, we're still going to overall stay in beta, but like we're gonna try to see, you know, continue stabilizing the feature and hopefully trying to get some cloud providers to go to GA within the next release or two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Madam Michelle. The next one is OpenStack CSI Migration. John, you want to give us status on this?
Yeah, I have not been able to get any update on that one at this point.
Okay.
Thing.
Sure. Next one is SafeFS Saf RBD CSI Migration. Humble. It's probably not here. Do you have any update on this one? It's no update.
I haven't seen anything, no.
Okay, thanks.
Humble was talking to me earlier. I think he's actively working on it, but he's not sure he'll be able to do an alpha by this release. But he started work on it.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Next is CSS Scalability, Immutable Secrets, and config. Okay, this one is just done. The next one is CSI SIG apps. PVC created by default set will not be auto-removed. Is KK here?
Yeah, so we had a discussion in SIG apps. Michelle, me, and Matt were there. There are a few things we are discussing offline on this, and we will come back with a proposal on what direction we'll move and probably raise a cap. So I'm hoping that in a week's time, we'll have more updates from our discussions.
Thank you. Next one is voting expansion for safer set.
Yep. So Yeah, so we basically I raised a KEP for this. Ken from SIGAPS reviewed it. There are few updates to the KEP itself, which I'm working on, but there were concerns regarding how the user errors are propagated with respect to volume shrink and how we handle it when we do a shrink from stateful set and like related stuff. So
it's not supported, right? Because volume resize does not support shrink.
Yes, so we need a way in which we can express this properly when a stateful set is updated back to the user.
Okay.
And so the idea is that once code freeze is done, me and Hemant will have more discussions on this, and I'll update the KEP as well, and then work out with Ken and move forward with it. That's the current.
Okay, and you are aware of this other KEP that Hemant is working on, right? To
yes.
allow the failed. Okay.
Yes, yes, we talked about that, and he said like after code freeze, we'll have more time to discuss on higher level approaches.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Next one, execution hook for application snapshot. Okay, so this one, we have a container notify proposal. We discussed about that in with the SIG node. They have some concerns for adding this in kubelet. So we're trying to address their comments, but I think there are right now still concerns, so still being discussed. Next one is this utils mount split into new repo. Do we have any owner of this? Started? Is it started? So it has Saad and Yang. So it says there is an issue to create a new staging issue for owner. Or Saad.
Sorry, what was
Michelle?
the what's
This is
item?
the move the utils mount to a new repo.
Oh, yeah, that's in progress.
Oh, okay.
There's the staging repo has been created, and there's a PR out to move the mount stuff to it. I think it just needs approval from someone top level at this point. So
okay,
I am pinging Tim to help approve this one.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I think that's all we have in the spreadsheet. We do have a few items here.
Xin, I have a question.
Yeah.
So we recently got someone from Google working on the Warum Snapshot, Andy. He's also in the core.
Okay.
He started working on items to help Warum Snapshot to GA.
Okay.
Do we add items over there or
so this is all in the same. Well, so those are tracked here. Snapshot fix issues. So and then for individual ones, we have that tracked on the project board under external snapshotter.
I see, but
Sean,
those are not the issues, right?
Well, so the individual issues you can track on your own. The purpose for this meeting is to kind of track the high level for the next Kubernetes release. And in this coming release, we're not moving to GA, so just tracking bug fixes is fine. For the next release, what we'll do is have a separate standalone item for GA.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Then I will just using the snapshot board to track it.
Okay,
sounds
thank
good.
You. So we have there's a design review here from Shihan. CSS driver needs a way to get pod service account token. Shihan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So for security reasons, the CSS driver needs a way to get the pod service account token. And I already have received many comments from Zheng and Michelle and Steve on this cap. there are two remaining issues. One is the do we need to extend this to right now? This only the token only pass to the node publish volume call. Whether we need to extend it to other CSI calls like controller publish kind of stuff. In my opinion, I don't think this is related to pods operations, right? If I understand this, for example, the node stage volume call, that call only mounts the volume to the node's global file system, right? I'm not quite sure how it's related to the pods. So this is one thing, and the other is how to deal with the failed remount. So
Michelle, since you have been reviewing this, can you comment on this?
I raised the concern about.
Oh, you raised concern. Okay.
About the node publish only.
Okay.
Like, I would understand this token to be passed in CSI inline volumes where we kind of copy secrets or config maps or things like that. But once AWS jumped in and they want to authenticate mount using this concept, like, what's the difference to other volume plugins that they may need node stage?
I guess the thing though is that the service we're talking about the service account of a pod, and at the node stage time we don't necessarily have a pod, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And you could end up with multiple pods, so yeah, you wouldn't want to get into a position where you have to pick one.
Okay, I'm fine if it's only in node publish, but please document it very well that a node stage is not supported and will not be supported because of blah blah blah. Multiple pods can have interest in the volume and so on.
I also asked Michael from to clarify from like the EFS side if having this at node publish is sufficient, or would they also need it at a create volume level?
As far as I know, EFS.
I'm supposed to represent him, but I don't know the answer, so I'm going to ask him. I don't think we care about create volume, though.
They don't support dynamic provision.
You can just give the controller whatever. I don't think we care about create volume. We only care about having the application mount its own secret. We don't care about create volume.
Okay.
Is there no workaround for this involving just writing a Kubernetes controller that gets the information? I realize that might not be the right long-term solution, but in the short term, like, does that even work? And if not, why?
Sorry. What's the question? Sorry.
The question was, can this be worked around in the short term by just writing a controller that gets the required information at the required time? Because
there's a short-term one that already been implemented in the secret store CSI driver that they ground the token request permission to the service count of the CS driver pod, and that they can create the token there. But this requires some other changes on the automation plugins to validate that the token request is requested by the CS driver on behalf of the pod that the CS driver is mounting the volumes to. So it's kind of messy to implement a kind of rules like policies to do the validation. And also there are many other CS drivers requests this they request the pod service account token. So I think it's better to implement in the kubelet instead of.
Sure, it may be. Yeah. I only asked the question because if you were going to say you can't do it, then I was going to say all the same problems exist for the core as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just messy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the second question you had was about remounts.
Yeah, if it failed, as brought up by Jim. So I look at the code. When the remount failed, the error will only be logged in the reconciler, right? Mm-hmm. And but it's the same as the first mount, right? The first mount also, I mean, the first mount does the same thing as the remount.
Yeah, CSI doesn't have remounts enabled, does it?
So as part of this proposal, it's to enable it for CSI drivers that want it.
Okay.
Well, if the first mount fails, then the pod is not started. But once the pod is running and the remount fails, then we just log it, which is fine, as long as it's safe to do. Like, I'm not sure I fully understand this token expiration in this stuff. Does it mean if the token expires, then the pod should not have access to the secret data, and we should block it somehow?
So for example, the Vault has the secret store which requires authentication, mm-hmm. And so the sys driver will request the pod service account token so that the sys driver can use it to do the authentication. And if the token expires, so basically the secret also has the TTL. It will expire. If that expires, it will require a token. And the token will also expire in some time, like 10 minutes. So basically means if the secrets expire, they will require the token again.
But I guess does the is it the CSI driver that like removes the files or something when it expires?
Yeah, I don't know this. Yeah, I don't know this. I asked a question in one of the thread of the comments. I think Steve has the best understanding of because he's the one that requests this featuring and in another PR the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So
like we can either leave it to the CSI driver to clean the expired secret, which is, I don't know, doesn't help much because the pod can have it cached anywhere, or we can kill the pod. And if killing the pod is the right way to go, then it will need some changes in kubelet. That's my concern.
If I think if the secret's expired, there should be some error returned if the pods try to access the volumes, right? Otherwise, there's no.
But I guess that would be that would have to be enforced by the CSI driver, I think, because we don't really have control over the I/O to the volume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if it would be helpful to like if the remount fails to add an event or something. I don't know if that's gonna all of a sudden cause a bunch of event spam, but that's the consideration.
Yeah, how does the current remount works for the downward API? If that remount failed, it's the same thing, right?
I don't think we have an event for it. I think we just log a message.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the data is stale.
Yeah, if we do something, so basically for the downward API, the data is stale. But for the sys driver, we do different things. Would it make sense to keep these constant.
What do you mean by constant?
Like in how we deal with the remount failures, because for the downward API, yeah, we allowed it to be stale because the remount failed, but we killed the pod when the remount failed for the sys driver.
You mean you want to keep the behavior consistent between like downward API and the CSI driver?
Yeah, or we implement like Jen said, maybe kill code. Should we do this the Cocooning Pad strategy to the downward API if the remount failed?
If the remount fails, then there is a pretty high chance that the data available into the volume are still correct. While in your token case, you are sure that the data are wrong. That's the difference.
Oh, I see.
Well, I don't insist on killing the pod. Like, I'm just curious if from security perspective, is it correct that the pod has access to the data we know that they are expired? If it is fine, then just log the event.
I think,
that's fine.
Yeah, this depends on whether the secrets are accessible if it expires for the water secret store. Yeah, I think this can be followed up by the if Steve comment on my comment there.
Yeah, I think it would be good to answer this to follow up with all the different CSI drivers we know about that want this feature. So like the secret stores. I don't know if Cert Manager has something similar. So just, yeah, following up with all of them and seeing what their desired behavior would be.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So this would be a 1.20 item, right? Because this is the cap is just submitted. We already passed the, okay.
Maybe just one question. How often do we expect that this token needs to be renewed? Because I think that the scalability team should be involved.
How often the token will be refreshed? It's like so I would say so the expiration time for token usually it's 10 minutes, and the Kubernetes will refresh the token like in the background, like at the 80% of the lifetime. Basically, it's 8 minutes. It will refresh.
So it uses the same framework as the tokens that we already have for.
Yes. Yeah, okay. It's the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Do the CSI drivers need to make any API calls?
API calls?
Like, I think you were mentioning somewhere that the CSI driver still needs to make like a API call to validate the audience.
The sys driver will not. The storage provider will.
API call, you mean what, Kubernetes API call? What API?
Yeah, I mean Kubernetes API call.
Oh.
Yeah, the main concern is that because the current remount thing gets called very frequently, and if every remount request will invoke a API call, then we can hit API limits pretty quickly.
The API limit on the sys driver?
Yeah.
But wouldn't client caching prevent that, Michelle?
I mean, I guess, so like so that's what I'm not sure about, like, will this, on every node publish, like, is the CSI driver going to end up making an API call, or does it do some sort of?
I think I think it's, I don't know who sent the token review. To my understanding, it's the I'm not quite sure. Sorry. Like or the CS driver or the storage provider. I ever look at the documentation of the what. They said the token review will be sent. I'm not quite. I didn't know like who will send that validation. Yeah, if there's a API name it on the CS driver, I think I need to research on this as well as part of the CAP.
This requires a CSS spec change?
Yes, CSI driver spec change.
I mean, I'm talking about the like this. So do we need to add like a new RPC in the CSI spec itself?
Well, that's a question, because we call CSI spec like assumes that we call node publish only once when we need to mount, but there is nothing about periodic calling. But this is Kubernetes specific anyway. This is like the CSI inline volumes.
Okay. Okay,
yeah, I guess the question, I have one random question for Matt. For like the EFS
Sorry,
driver.
I think there's one more item on the calendar, on the agenda. I want to make sure that person has time. Maybe we could do a follow-up meeting.
Yeah, we have actually a few things. So I know, Sad, you have this flex volume driver. You want to talk about this, or should we go to this dataset lifecycle framework?
Yeah, we can skip that. Folks can click on the link if they're interested, and we can talk about it next time. I wanted to give time to the dataset lifecycle framework. I'm not sure they'll have enough time, but if not, we can move them to the next meeting.
Sure, that's that's Yanis. It's fine by me. It's fine
okay, so you want to talk about this, and then maybe we can talk more. You can give like a full review next time. You can just spend.
Sure. Next time,
do you want to give like a overview of this time?
Yes.
And so that we have a few minutes.
I can talk like for a few minutes. So so basically it's a framework that we created recently in IBM Research in Europe. So basically what we're trying to do is to introduce a higher level abstraction of from the CSI, and we're looking to introduce the dataset concept, which is basically a new CRD that points to a remote data source, whether it's S3 or NFS, and we're adding more protocols as well. And we're basically targeting to improve the usability. So for users who are not familiar with CSI and the different storage classes, we're looking to give them a higher level of abstraction so they can use data sets in their pods. So at the same time, we look to improve performance, because if we introduce this, by introducing this abstraction, we can offer transparent caching, meaning that the user would be declaring one endpoint, but actually on their pods they would be using the cached version of it. And we're looking to get more feedback, have more discussions with the open source community, and any feedback is welcome. And maybe next time I can give a demo as well. I don't know what's the time schedule for this, but
Sar, so should we like schedule a separate meeting to review this, or do you want to have this as part of a next meeting? What do you think?
I think we can probably do it as a part of the next meeting. If you do 15, 20-minute presentation, I think that'll be enough time-wise to be able to fit it in.
Okay. So if you want to have a look on the repo before that, until then, to have more questions, maybe that you get it offline, it would be helpful as well. So yeah, let us know.
Okay, so we probably just will look at this one first in the next meeting, right after the status.
No worries.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good to me as well.
There's also, so I think we do have this object bucket provisioning proposal. I'm not sure if you have been following that. And then we have weekly meetings. You may want to participate in that and see. You can probably give input. That's actually coming right after this one.
Great, sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Xing, do you have a second to go back to the planning spreadsheet? For the update on the OpenStack cinder.
Oh, okay. You have an update now? Okay.
Yeah, I just found a reference on the cloud provider OpenStack, the GitHub for Kubernetes cloud provider OpenStack. There's a note there that says that the Cinder standalone provisioner, Manila provisioner, Cinder Flex volume driver were removed since 1.18.
I think they're talking about the entry one, right? That'll be removed.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading it as. And Cinder CSI driver is provided by a project called Ember. Are you aware of that one?
Yeah, yes.
So I don't know that there's anything else outstanding there. This is line 35 there.
Can you provide the link? What is that link? Where are you looking at this? Because Ember is that's like the CSI driver, but we don't know if they about the. I think they already have the translation part, right? We're just not sure what's the next step. I think this is already beta, so we don't know who is working on finishing this and bring this to GA. I guess that's the question. Yep. So I know who is working on Ember, but I'm not sure who is working on.
Posted both links in the chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So let me. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Well, yeah. Just add this one here, and then maybe take a look later. Okay. We have 2 minutes left. I think Debian already given an update on that, CSI Migration for vSphere. So KK has this, I think we won't have time. I see you have some slides there, right?
Thank you, Xing.
Oh, yeah, thank you, John. KK, so you want to talk about this maybe in the next meeting? You just want to give a quick overview of this? You have a proposal.
Yep. So right now, we don't have a way in which we can tune the performance of a persistent volume at runtime. And this presents some scenarios for users which we could potentially improve by providing a generic framework with Kubernetes. And the proposal is for community input as to are there other folks who are also interested in this kind of approach. And there are a couple of approaches which we have put forward to see if we can, come up with a consensus and work out something where dynamically these performance parameters like IOPS and throughput can be tuned without really having to recreate the PV and stuff like that.
Okay, so basically it's make it more like a size. It's just like a first class field.
That's the idea. So I'll put it up in the next agenda item also. If that data presentation is there, I'll put it up right after that, and I'll send the slides to the SIG storage as well. So if offline people can discuss, that'll be really great too.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's we have 1 minute. So Sadi, you want to talk about the flex volume or okay, I think we already.
We can just move it to the next meeting.
Okay, sure. All right. That's it for today then. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you.